I want to share with you not a story of success. I want to share with you today a story of my failures, I think. And I want to share with you why I want to do it and why I'm doing it. And I will begin and go and take you back in time. And in '99, I was 28. 2 years ago, I founded my first company. We were 20 people. It was the golden times of IT. Everybody who could spell computers got a job, and I earned around 1,600 Deutschmark these days per day. And I hired all my friends, and we were soon 20 people. Made a lot of money. And in '99, my partner said to me, Arne, you can go to our winery. I had a deal with him, take your Mercedes and get the trunk full of red wine, worth €3,000. And it was not 12 bottles of very expensive wine. As you can imagine, it was more like €12 per bottle. And after a year it was gone, we repeated this tradition, we called it. So I filled not even my cellar, it was, I started to drink a lot of wine while I was really successful. And 2 or 3 years later, in 2001, we were 110 people. So it's not a lesson I want to share with you, drink wine to get successful. But it was like this. In 2004, some problems arose. I felt my addiction. I knew always how much wine I had in my house, for instance. I went home, and I started to get thrown out of one of my first projects, and so I wanted to change something. And I heard, I don't know when, if you have a problem, like create a profession out of it. So I came up with an opportunity, and I founded and started a bar in Mitte. So I put all my money into this bar in 2004. It was Rosenthaler Straße, it's a nice restaurant now, but within 9 months I spent all my life savings in these days. It was just simply gone. A lot of reasons, it's another talk, and not this time, why this happened. In 2005, I shut down my business. I left my partner these days, and from 110 people I was back to 10 friends, and we restarted the company. So I transformed the bankrupt bar into called Moving Targets Consulting Company. So somehow I managed to survive, and so this was a little bit introduction. And you ask yourself, like, why I think I tell this to you. This is like the next slide. So I want to talk about openness to you. Why I'm so open. Why I think I tell this to you. It's not about like open data or open government or all these open doors we even saw today. It goes a little bit deeper. It's about why I think we should be open. It's about an open mindset. And what defines an open mindset, in my opinion? And an open mindset, in my opinion, is defined by the absence of fear. So it's not that the fear is totally absent, I can tell you. I'm really excited, and I think I fear to fail here on stage, but it's that I see this fear now as an energy and not as a restriction anymore. And we all, I think, we are all afraid to fail. Nobody talks about failure, at least not so much today. We didn't heard that so often, and it makes you feel uncomfortable, I think. It's not really nice to think about this option of failure. And what we are doing is we're producing a ton of rules to prevent failure. We create risk management systems. We're creating management schools to prevent failure, to get better in predicting the future and making our businesses more and more efficient. And what we don't understand is that if fear drives these actions, we are getting very slow and we are getting inefficient if fear is the driver of our actions. And that's why I add my second definition of openness. You need to break these rules that are caused by fear. That's totally important to me. And the last thing is, you cannot talk about openness only, you have to do it, you have to be open. And this is my three definitions of openness. What is the reason for these, that we think failure is not an option, or failure is not allowed? And I think our beliefs are the reason for that. We are trained to do this, we learned this, we got this from our parents in the society, especially in Germany. Failure is not an option. You are a failure if you fail, and that's not true, it's simply not true. But we are what we think, and everything what we see around us, and what we give names is just simply our thoughts, it's just our beliefs. So what I believe that also our orders and our addictions and our illusions are in our mind and are our beliefs. And what I started to believe, and now I may continue with my personal story a little bit, is that change is possible. So in 2005, in my worst days, sorry for the emotion when I do this, I met my mentor, one of my mentors, really in my worst days. There happened a lot of other things in 2005, but this mentor, and I don't know till now why, started to take care of me a little bit, and he took me in 2007 to a meditation week with one of his friends. And this friend was Martin, and he was in these days, or no, not in these days, he was the days before the meditation week, a guy like me. A very successful, one of the best salesmen in Germany, I would call him. He was running, he was chasing, he wanted really to be successful, and failure was not an option for him. The only problem he had lung cancer. And I met him having lung cancer. He had his diagnosis 3 months ago. The doctor gave him 3 months. He lived around 2 years after his diagnosis. And I saw him in these 2 years transform his fears into openness because of his cancer. So he needed to get sick to open up and to transform all these running and only believing in success. And I was watching this. And he died on the 3rd of September 2008. And at his funeral, I decided that I have to change too. And I don't want to get lung cancer to do so. So I decided to stop smoking. And every time I got drunk, and I pretty much these days got every night drunk, caused me to start smoking again. You know, if you're drunk, you lose control. You know this maybe. If you go to parties, there are always people to smoke in Germany. So I always started and restarted smoking cigarettes. But in around March 2009, I went to another meditation week with my mentor these days. And this was my last day. I smoked a cigarette and I drank a drop of alcohol. And so I didn't went to these 12-step stuff or to any other thing. I just did it because I changed my beliefs, you know. And this was really simple for me. These changing beliefs that if I smoke, I die, so I should stop drinking to stop smoking. So I tricked myself into being now a different person, I guess. So I changed, and I had around 6 hours more per day, as you can imagine. And this spare time I put mostly into internet, I think. So I started to discover things around me, newly, totally fresh. So I started to discover that everywhere is change. And there went on these days, 2008, a huge technology change. So the rise of social networks was these days, cloud computing. computing came up. It was really early these days. Amazon were just starting this. And what I saw was that these technology changes, that we are all connected. We started to connect via Facebook. That there was a new feeling of openness. Like in the same time, I started to discover this openness and to lose my fears. The world somehow opened up in a technology meeting. And what I saw too is that this caused a huge economic change. Some companies got really quick rich, and the whole industry were falling because of this change. So we saw the music industry already, the book industry, I think education, again, little warning is next, that get disrupted through open and sharing and losing the fear of controlling your knowledge here in your precious school, you know. So I think that education is the next. But we need to do social change, or I see social change too, and we were happy to hear a lot of presentations today about this going on in the world right now. And I don't mean like shopping sites where you just donate for you or for your shopping, I mean really social entrepreneurship sites. So this brings me that change creates opportunity around us. This is what I see right now, a lot of opportunities. The change is the reason for these opportunities, the constant ongoing change. And which is opening up or which stopped drinking, I really became an optimist. I started to believe in the good of people, and I saw that fear is only energy, and that like the old rules, and to break old rules, that these are only challenges, and that all the restrictions and all the scarcity, that this only hides abundance. So we have everything here to change the world and make it a better place. Because, and this is like a little bit the end of my presentation, I want to give you an advice now, how I now think about these opportunities and how you should attack these opportunities. You need to create options for your behavior, for your doing. And creating option means that you are allowed yourself to fail, and that you that you get like with slides, and that's like without pictures, that like I put myself in front of you, you know, to prove myself that failure is an option. You know, I could fail today and could fuck up again, but maybe I'm not, I hope so. But it's an option, otherwise I would not go here, you know, I would just not come. So there's always an option to fail, and there's always an option not to do it. I could cancel this presentation easily. I should just say no, you know? Successful people should say no. Okay, thanks for that. What you have to do is, after you have these options, and you know that failure is an option, you need to make a decision. And the last point is, please never regret your past decisions. They were right in the moment you made them, and there's a reason for these that happened and that made you like what was there. So please never regret your decisions. So the last point is commitment. And this is, I learned from my wife, so it's not really my advice. I got married in 2005 too,